going on, you guys? Welcome back to the latest edition of Raiders Latest News for this wonderful Friday on January 10th. It's Friday. I wanted to put on that song Friday, but I think it's Katy Perry or whoever it is. We're just not going to do that. But anyway, we're here to discuss the latest news surrounding the Raiders, the head coaching search, and now the general manager search for the Raiders, because, yes, they did fire Tom Telesco yesterday after they did fire Antonio Pierce on Wednesday. And so, this is honestly, I think this is the best move moving forward. You have to be able to start from scratch and go out and find your guys. So I do, even though it does suck and people's families are affected, I do think that this does come down to the fact that we gotta start from scratch here, which I don't think is the worst thing. I think that there's good things within this franchise, but I also think that there's things that definitely obviously need to improve, and there's a new culture that's needed, and I think that everybody can see that, and I think that this is only going to be a long and drawn-out process, which will keep you updated every step of the way. Now, this is the list. We covered this yesterday in our first live stream, for members only, by the way, for the coordinators that have been interviewed, or at least former head coaches. Also added to this list yesterday was Pete Carroll, the former head coach of the Seahawks that went to the playoffs. He won Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots as well. We're not going to get into that. But overall, so Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the DC and OC for the Detroit Lions, have both been brought in. I believe they're actually interviewing Ben Johnson today, if I'm not mistaken. Steve Spagnuolo, the Kansas City Chiefs defensive coordinator, was also brought in, as well as Todd Monken from the Baltimore Ravens, the OC there. Robert Saleh, which I actually am a very big fan of this one. And then, yes, we did mention Pete Carroll as well. Also, Bill Belichick was reached out to by Tom Brady, which would be interesting. I think that obviously you have the greatest head coach of all time, as well as all of that kind of stuff would make some sense. Now, there is also, obviously, now that the departure of Telesco has happened, there's also some guys that, we're going to take a look at for the head coaching jobs. Now, if you guys go on to Google, you guys will find a latest article by Tashawn Reed where he outlines, I think there's a total of 9 different GM candidates. Now, I'm not going to ruin all of them, but there's 2 that he specifically mentioned, and one, John Spytek, who actually was teammates with Tom Brady back in 1999. He was a linebacker there at Michigan, but he is right now the Bucs assistant GM. And, I mean, the Bucs just, they have assembled talent, they have kept cap space, and they've kept key players around, and they're really good in the draft too. So I think he would be a really good pick. Also, Ryan Grigson from the Vikings. Yes, he had a little couple blemishes on his record there from the Colts and everything back in the day, but honestly, I think he would be a great addition. So, and then those were the really 2 that stood out to me that I think would make really good additions, because I do think, honestly, I think it should be Spytek. Just looking at, obviously he's done everything with the Bucs, just in terms of he definitely played a role in getting Baker Mayfield in there and helping revive his career. Also, the drafting of Bucky Irving and also Rachaad White and everybody. Offensively, Mike Evans, he's assembled the team. He has helped assemble a very good team for the Buccaneers, and they have went out there, they've taken risks, but also they've drafted well. And I think that if you are any self-respecting GM in the NFL or an assistant, you do go take chances. And I think that's what the Raiders need. Now, the Raiders cap space is actually pretty good right now. I think they're going to go in with 90, 100 million in cap space for the free agency period and everything. But I think the biggest thing that with Spytek and company is, whoever's going to be the GM, is they have some things to work with. They've got a couple of weapons, not a lot. This is a full rebuild, but that'll just make it more impressive, right, when we go and win that Lombardi trophy. But overall, the Raiders, they got a lot of things to make up right now. There's going to be a lot of things that fall, probably even today. There is even a story with Antonio Pierce where, there was a little bit of an awkward exit, we'll say, because, he literally went to a press conference on Monday talking about the end of the season, then he was fired the next day or something like that. So it's I do think it is a little weird on everything that happened with the Raiders and how everything unfolded. I understand they have to evaluate, you have to make decisions, and you have to be able to make the best decision for your franchise. I understand all of that, but this whole process has been backwards from the very beginning, if you ask me. And so I think the Raiders are in a good spot. I think it just comes down ultimately to the fact that, hey, they are going to have to make a major decision here moving forward. And so, but like we said, we'll keep keeping an eye on it and everything, and keeping you guys in the loop for the things that do happen a little bit later on, and making sure that we keep you in the loop. But overall, let us know what you guys think about our latest news as of Friday, January 10th. Like we said, we'll keep you updated more as the head coach and general manager coaching decisions, personnel decisions do come down the pipe and everything. But like we said, let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.